How is it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Aaron. I do investing and stock market videos. I started investing in the stock market when I was 19 years old, going on 4 years now, and today I'm going to tell you why I'm buying more Boeing stock. Over just the past year alone, Boeing stock has been battered down from its highs in early 2019 and has extremely lagged the markets, considering the fact that it has such a big weight on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is almost 8%. The real beginning of the downfall was on March 10th when an Ethiopian flight crashed and the blame was faulty design and lapses by American regulators. President Donald Trump then announced on March 13th that the United States authorities would ground all 737 MAX 8 and MAX 9 aircraft in the United States. After the president's announcement, the FAA then officially gave that order, ordering the grounding of all 737 MAX 8 and MAX 9 aircraft. And really, since then, there has not been too much good news for Boeing stock. And the main thing that people are focusing on, and this is really understandable, is when are they going to get those planes back in the air? As of today, the Boeing 737 MAX will likely return sometime in mid-2020. However, the 737 MAX has lost them billions of dollars due to lawsuits from crash victims, and then you have compensation for the airlines having to ground them, and then also just simply because they can't sell them anymore at the current moment because they're grounded. Barrons posted an article in October in which they interviewed analyst Peter Arment, who is a managing director for aerospace and defense at R.W. Bard Investment Bank. In the article, he stated the process of returning 800 planes to service will be a costly, complex, and lengthy process that may hurt further production rates. We see increased risk to Boeing's production rates over the next 24 months. He goes on by saying, meanwhile, Boeing has reduced 737 MAX monthly output to 42 from 52. More than 250 planes have been produced and parked since then. That may not seem like a lot, but you got to take into account that each plane cost Boeing $100 million. And if they had 250 planes in April backlogged, that means it's costing them $25 billion just to have their planes sit in a parking lot. As you can see, this is kind of why Boeing stock is a little unattractive in the short term. However, what do I always say? Invest in weakness. So many people are scared to get in now just because of all the problems that Boeing is running into, but it's all just noise in the short term. People who care about short-term things like this shouldn't even be investing their money in the stock in the first place because they clearly don't believe in it in the long run. Otherwise, they would take this opportunity as a buying opportunity. It's just like Facebook for all of 2018. Facebook was getting slammed from every direction, and I remember people saying that it was the end for Facebook stock. It's over, it's gonna die, and now look at it. The stock is trading at all-time highs, so you really have to ignore all the noise and the bad sentiment that comes with the news media and the analysts who downgrade it. Now, if we take a look at the management team for Boeing with their new CEO, who was the former chairman, David Calhoun, the management team is actually doing a really great job with trying to mitigate the losses while still trying to keep investors interested in the stock. Unfortunately, since they have lawsuits coming at them and the fact that they have a lot on their plate right now, it's quite a lot to take, and that also is another reason why it reminds me of Facebook stock. They both have great execution, however, they have just been so busy with dealing with lawsuits and random annoying crap instead of actually being able to focus on company growth. I saw an article on the Motley Fool that was actually pretty interesting to me. In the article, the author said, "There's no denying that Boeing stock is a tough pill to swallow in the near term, especially given fierce competition from Airbus. The 737 MAX has already cost Boeing billions of dollars and will continue to severely affect the company's profitability until the planes can be sold and flown. That said, Boeing is riding the tailwinds of a global rise in air travel, particularly out of the development countries in Southeast Asia and China. As hard as it is to advocate buying Boeing stock right now, it actually is probably going to be even harder to argue how the stock couldn't do well over the long term. If Boeing can get 737 MAX planes out of parking lots and into the hands of the customers, the stock would look very attractive at the current price. Based on 2018 earnings of $17.85 per share, the stock would have a PE ratio of 18.5, give or take. He then went on and said, pair that with a dividend yield of 2.5% and Boeing would find itself hovering around both value stock and dividend stock territory. And I 100% agree with what the author of this article was saying. If you are able to get past the short-term negatives and actually look at the long-term positives, this alone is a great reason to think about buying the stock. With a 2.5% dividend yield and an 18.5 PE ratio, I mean, that's pretty much as reasonable as you can get, considering the PE ratio on the Dow Jones shows the average being a little over 21. Now, as for how much Boeing stock I do plan to buy, I do plan to buy $5,000 worth at the end of the trading day today. That is January 15th, 2020, and I will continue to average down in the short term in order to lower my cost basis. Now, the main reason I'm buying today and not waiting is because, in my personal opinion, I do actually believe that the worst is behind us for Boeing stock. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't think it will go down a little more before it goes up. However, if it does, I will surely welcome that and add to the position. I just don't want to miss out on the opportunity if it does rebound within the next couple of months. So I hope you guys like this video on why I think Boeing stock is at a good price and why I will be adding shares over the next couple of months. Please don't forget to like the video if you did. Comment down below on what you think about Boeing and if you think it's a good buy. Also, make sure to subscribe because it really helps me out. That does it for me. I'll see you guys later.